One cold night, a young man and his friend were on their way to a dance, driving down a long, secluded country road, just as darkness fell. After turning a sweeping bend, they suddenly saw a young girl standing in the middle of the road. The driver slammed on the brakes, barely stopping in time. The girl approached a car and asked if they could take her home. They told her they were on their way to a dance and asked why she was in the middle of the road. The girl ignored the question and asked if she could join them, on the condition they take her home straight after. The boys agreed. The girl got in the back seat. She was wearing only a light dress. One of the boys offered her his jacket, which she took. They arrived at the dance and danced throughout the night. It got late, and the girl asked the boys to take her home. The boys drove the girl to her house, not far from where they had picked her up. She got out and headed straight inside, thanking the boys for the night. One of the boys remembered he had forgotten to get his jacket back from her. They decided to let the girl rest, and they would pick it up the next day. The next day, the boys returned to the girl's house. They knocked on the door and an elderly woman answered. The boys explained the situation and asked for the jacket. The elderly woman stood in shock. She took a minute before telling the boys that the girl was her daughter, but she had been dead for 13 years. The girl had been struck by a car on a sweeping bend down a long, secluded road while walking home one night. The boys did not believe the woman. The woman pointed down the road. She told them to take the first turn and travel down a bit where they would find a cemetery. Her daughter had a plot there. The boys went to the cemetery and looked around. Laid down on one of the graves was the boy's jacket. Engraved on the headstone was the young girl's name. Her date of death was 13 years ago to the day. The boys took the jacket and left the cemetery, never to go down that long secluded road ever again.